see it and why it may not be as much as you think.
And it's going to be a pretty warm day outside. Here's a live look near downtown Fort Myers. We're also seeing some of that fog in different places. Where it's moving in, coming up next.
.92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I'm in the car next to you on the highway, heading to work. I sit in front of you on the bus. I work in the office down the hall and stand next to you in the elevator. We've known each other for years, and I've told you a lot about my life. But of all the things you know about me, here's one you don't. I'm 1 out of every 6 Americans, and I'm struggling with hunger. This isn't an incurable disease. It's not an uncontrollable epidemic. There's enough food in this country to feed every hungry person. This problem is closer than you think. Fortunately, so is the solution. Please, visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for those around you, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared.
It's like tiny nails in the air poke my lungs.
I start to cough. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
Today, 1 out of 13 children suffer from some form of asthma, accounting for nearly 1/3 of all emergency room visits.
I feel like I'm choking.
It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. A little whistle sound comes out when I breathe.
But while your child may suffer from asthma doesn't have to make your child suffer. There are simple ways you can prevent your child's next attack. To learn more, call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. That's 1-866-662-8822. Log on to www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA, the Ad Council, and this station.
Driving means
freedom,
exploration,
fun,
pride,
flexibility,
travel,
protection,
ability,
friendship,
excitement,
escape,
independence.
Distracted driving means
danger,
recklessness,
irresponsible,
chaos, police,
devastation,
injury,
death.
Safe driving means staying alert and staying alive.
Visit StopTextsStopRats.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
President Biden will meet the press. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News will hold his first full news conference more than 2 months after taking office, much later than his recent predecessors. A big issue, the migrant surge at the border.
This increase has been consequential.
He's put Vice President Harris in charge of dealing with this immigration surge. His administration says most migrants are adults not let in, but many kids have come here alone.
16,513 unaccompanied children in Health and Human Services and Customs and Border Protection custody as of yesterday.
Fox's David Spunt.
319 unaccompanied children tested positive. They remain in medical isolation. The good news to report, none required hospitalization.
Of course, those are COVID cases. The total number of U.S. coronavirus cases has just topped 30 million in this pandemic. 85,000 reported yesterday, the most in a day since mid-February. North Korea has done it again, a second missile test in a matter of days. Fox's Simon Owen has an update live.
Dave, this time it appears to be a ballistic missile launch, a more provocative action than a cruise missile test last weekend. The US and South Korea say they think 2 short-range weapons were fired into the sea near Japan. It's North Korea's first ballistic missile launch since President Biden took office. His administration is reviewing its North Korea policy. Japan's prime minister says the test represents a threat to peace and stability and violates UN resolutions. Dave.
Simon grieving in Boulder, Colorado. Hundreds attended that vigil last night for the 10 people murdered in a supermarket shooting spree Monday. The gunman appears in court today. A scare in Atlanta at a grocery store. An armed man walked in yesterday, went to a bathroom. Police greeted him coming out. He had 5 guns. He's charged with reckless conduct. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
Good Thursday morning. If you're commuting over the Sanibel Causeway, it's only a 2-minute commute onto the island. Also 2 minutes over the Matthias Pass Bridge into Fort Myers Beach. So take advantage as of right now. I'm sure that won't be the case later on. We are slowing down on Fiddlesticks if you're heading north to Daniels Parkway. Daniels very busy. Lots of cars trying to get onto the interstate. Slow down in Fort Myers as well on Forum Boulevard north to MLK. To avoid this, stick to I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain.
In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want the ability to adjust your loan options in real time, Rocket can.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
See why homeowners and contractors choose Rock Solid for the finest countertops. Now with our newly expanded showroom, making your home improvement experience even better.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 J&C Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there, watch on your smartphone, smart device, your computer. You can still go to Facebook if you'd like, at Drew Steele Radio for the time being. That's fine. You can go there. Coming up, I think Vice President Kamala Harris, did she... I wonder if she was sitting in a meeting yesterday when Joe Biden said, hey, listen, Vice President Harris, she's going to handle the crisis along the border. I wonder if she was like, well, thank you, Mr. President. What? Wait, are you can't... was she surprised about that? Is she excited? We're going to talk about that coming up And some of, obviously, what the president and the vice president were continuing to say, like, it's Trump's fault. Everything is Trump's fault. So we're going to get to that coming up in just a bit. More indications that not only will there be gun control measures that are going to try to be pushed by the left in this country and by gun control advocates. Listen, not everybody on the left is, it's just not the left in this country. There are some people that believe that we need to have common sense gun control laws. And then there are people on the left who are going to tell you that if you're a Republican who likes your Second Amendment rights, and then when we have the horrific shootings like we had in Boulder, Colorado, and in Georgia, and all of these things continue to happen, and now is the time to have common sense gun control laws. If you're a Republican and you say, well, I like my Second Amendment rights and I don't want this slippery slope to take place. If somebody were to say that, a slippery slope, what indication do you have? The slippery slope of losing your Second Amendment rights. What indication do you have from the left in this country that would lead you to believe that that's not where we're going? Of course it is. So to make that case is ridiculous. Have you seen everything else that's going on in this country when it comes to slippery slopes? Of course we're worried about how that's going to turn out just by, we just want to do a little bit. We just want a little tiny bit of gun control. Just common sense stuff. What's the problem? Don't you want that too? No. We don't want it to get completely out of control. The slippery slope. Like we found out the Ninth Circuit Court ruling that Americans have no right to carry guns either open or concealed. That's right, a circuit court. It's doubtful it'll hold up, but the fact of the matter is you have a circuit court in this country, the Ninth Circuit, and you've probably heard a million times about how crazy, as my son likes to say, the Ninth Circuit Court has been in decisions there in the past, and now we have this one. So spare us the whole nonsense about, what are you worried about, a slippery slope? Oh, yeah, we know about your slopes, and they're quite slippery. So we'll get to that also coming up in just a bit. But a big, big day. I mean, this is almost like blockbuster bombshell.
Breaking news. A bombshell.
Joe Biden finally is going to take questions from the press. Isn't that a big deal? Aren't you excited? Do you think it's going to go well? How's that going to go today? Did you not know? Jake's looking at me like I had no idea. Did you not know this? That Joe Biden, after how many days now in office? Longer than any other president in history, has decided that, yes, I will take your questions, press. It's happening tonight.
Today?
Yeah, tonight, which is fun because then that means that our show is prepped for tomorrow. What we have to do is pull audio from this press conference. So
that's probably what they said yesterday when they pre-recorded it for tonight.
Yeah. Are you on that? Is that your bandwagon? Are you on the, hey, something stinks around here, conspiracy theories?
I don't care how many times fact checkers tell me that wasn't a green screen, it was a green screen. Try again.
Oh, the microphones there? That was totally a green screen.
Yeah, well, that's just multiple.
Yeah. And there are people that are trying to spin that like it wasn't, and we know that it was, and why would you do something like that? And still, it just goes away because the news cycle is so fast. We don't have time. We don't have time to talk about it. We don't have time to examine it. Look at that shiny object over there, right, Jake? But Jake is under the impression that Joe Biden's is not real. He's an animatronic Disney product or something like that. Like the actual Joe Biden is going to be at Disney in Magic Kingdom there at the Hall of Presidents. Like that's going to be the actual living, breathing president will be in Disney, and the animated Disney figure is actually the one that we see each and every day. You're convinced of that, aren't you?
Oh, I mean, honestly, the animated figure that they have at Disney's probably got a little bit more cognitive abilities.
Well, there's that part of it as well. We got to remember that. Also, I'm still a little upset about 2016. You cannot tell me that when Disney, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to this, and Jake, maybe you'll remember this as well. I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that in 2017, after President Trump won the election that you cannot tell me that they thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win the election and Disney made an animatronic Donald Trump for the Hall of Presidents and it was all done. It was Hillary Clinton. And then when he won and they were like, oh no, what are we going to do? We never thought he would win. They took Hillary Clinton's head, her face, and just created a Donald Trump sort of look-alike. They put his hair on there. And because if you look careful, I'm sorry, nobody can convince me otherwise. They created Hillary Clinton, and they didn't know what to do after that because they were sure and convinced that he was going to lose. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that controversy? Have you ever seen the pictures of...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to forget them.
And it's kind of hard to forget what he looks like at the Hall of Presidents, and it's clearly Hillary Clinton. That's what they did. Anyway, all right, we're getting a little off tangent. Okay, so... With that being said, Jake, I thought that this is the morning, this is the day, this is the time where we really, really do focus on you, the callers and people texting, emailing, 239-479-5592, or calling, because let's do this, Jake. Let's keep an eye on the text line. Let's keep an eye on the emails. And let's keep an eye on the phones. And why don't we all collectively together as a group, as a fam, if you will, come up with questions for President Biden tonight. His first news conference. Shouldn't we have questions prepared? Shouldn't we help the press? Let me help, like Jerry Maguire. Let me help me, help you, help me, help you. Help me, help you. Let me help you. Because the press isn't going to, what the press is going to say is, how are the dogs doing? Oops. Oh, wait, never mind. Wait, hey, is Hunter doing? Okay, oh, gosh. Hey, is Dr. Jill, is Vice President Harris, I'm not really sure what kind of questions are going to, so I thought that maybe you have questions that we could pass on to the press. We've got some clout around here. We've got some media connections. Maybe we can pass on questions that you have that you would like to see the media ask President Biden today, his first news conference. 239-479-5592. You can text them over. You can put them in the comments and reactions section on the drewsteele.com website or on Facebook if you want to do that, and I'll read them as they come in. And then we can maybe see if we can get them over to the press. Kind of help them do their job tonight. That would be a lot of fun. So let's see what you come up with. I was looking at Cheryl Atkinson. Cheryl Atkinson had some questions on her website, CherylAtkinson.com, and she was saying, listen, long time holding the first press conference. If I were to ask some questions, they got to be challenging, so let's see what she... She said, you signed an executive order requiring masks to be worn on all federal property, yet you frequently remove your mask on federal property, and White House spokesman Jen Psaki gives... White House press briefings without wearing a mask. That certain political figures not have to follow the same rules you require of ordinary Americans? Yes. Moving on. I mean, that's one of the questions that she asked. So I just thought maybe we should do that ourselves today. Fill up the phones. Fill up the text line. 239-479-5592. All right, this is not nice. Gene on Facebook said, hey, have you had a test for dementia lately? See, that's not, no. We're not, then nobody's going to ask that question. That's not nice. Don't do that. But we'll see what you come up with this morning. All right, let's see. Where else do we go? Oh, I wanted to bring this up right away. So the crisis on the border is definitely a crisis on the border, but it's not the Biden crisis. It's actually the former administration's crisis. And boy, they figured a way to spin out of this. And if you listen to Joe Biden, the president from yesterday, and his comments on what's going on along the border, and as you would expect, it's Trump's fault.
One of the reasons why we've had such before we took office, in the midst of the last administration's somewhat draconian policies, separating children from their parents, et cetera.
Let me just stop there. Separating children from their parents, the draconian measures. We don't know, even now, we don't know who these people are, these individuals are, these older adults are with these kids. Do you understand that we've been through this? Dave Ray, Federation for American Immigration Reform, and others who have been on this program to try to explain that that's how coyotes work, and they bring them across, and you have individuals bringing them across, and you have no idea if they're the parents or even related. And now we come to find out that they're coming across on their own. All right, go ahead. Let's see what he's got.
What happened was that we found that there were a serious spike in the number of people heading to the southern border, even in the midst of that.
Okay, so he's saying that there was a spike along the southern border, and it's the former administration's fault, right?
And as Alejandro can tell you, that was because there were serious natural disasters that occurred in those countries. They were coming north, and we did nothing to do much about it. So this new surge we're dealing with now started with the last administration, but it's our responsibility to deal with it humanely.
Yeah, you've got to clean it up. It's the last administration's fault, and it's because of them that there's this surge. That's not true. There was not a surge before this administration took office. That even NBC News was trying to have Joe Biden's back, as Zero Hedge was putting it, reporting within minutes of Biden's blame game that his transition team sounded the alarm to the Trump administration on the need to increase shelter space for migrant children, which they expected to be crossing the border in large numbers, but the Trump administration didn't take action until just days before the inauguration. See, that's what they're trying to say, except the fact that the numbers don't bear it out. The CBP numbers do not bear it out. The fact is that in December of 2020, is exactly when this new surge began. The numbers were going down right up until the election, and all of a sudden you're looking at a map and boom, there it goes, a big spike in unaccompanied minors. The numbers are there, the surge is there, the facts are there. If you're looking at the numbers from the Southwest land border demographic by month, October of 2020, 71,000 total. November, 72,000 total. December, 74,000 total. January, 78,000 total. By February, between the Office of Field Operations and U.S. Border Patrol, unaccompanied minors, family unit aliens, single adults, for both the Office of Field Operations and U.S. Border Patrol, it went from 78,000 in January to 100,000 in February. That's called a spike. That's the whole thing. It's amazing what the left will do and what this administration will continue to do. And it's very, very simple. When you see it and you recognize it and you know what they're doing, then you can call it out, which is this. They're banking on the fact that you're not going to look at the numbers that I'm describing, that they're just going to have the administration blame the former administration and say it was bad and we had to come in and fix it and we've got to take care of it all. And then you have a willing media and probably the late night hosts and everybody else who's going to go after the former president and the former administration, and they're going to run with it. And people have too busy a life right now to figure out what's going on in their own household, and all they're going to do is take the little nuggets that they get from the fake news legacy media and their local, state, and national media outlets, wherever they're going, on their radios and TV, and they're going to run with it. And that's all they know. And they're banking on the fact that you're not going to check. And then on top of that, at the same meeting, after all of this, after Jen Psaki trying to do this dance back and forth with the media, trying to say that there is no border crisis, but then there's some issues along the border, and then the media going along and saying, why are you not letting us see what's happening over here, and then getting some leaked photos of what's going on in these facilities, and it doesn't look good. It's really bad. It's like, hey, does Vice President Harris have anything going on? Why don't you take this over? And so Biden puts Vice President Harris in charge of the border crisis. Remember, it was the same Kamala Harris who was kind of laughing when asked about even visiting the border.
Not today.
I'm not going to the border I'm too busy in Jacksonville trying to hype up a passed bill that's been signed for weeks. It's like, how do you do that? So there she is, who thinks it's even hysterical to go to the border. Eventually they'll get there, and they are. But the point is that that's who you're handing it off to. And she says graciously, right?
So thank you, Mr. President, for your confidence.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you for willing to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for your confidence. Can you imagine being the vice president and being handed the border crisis? Like, here you go. It's all yours. I'm too busy talking about other things.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
He's too busy with the thing. There you go. So, and then by the way, right after that, in these when he was with Vice President Harris yesterday at this discussion about the border, and the meeting's over, and he says,
Ron, who am I turning this over to?
Ron Clay. He goes to Ron Clay, and he's like, who am I turning this over to? What am I doing now, sir?
Ron, who am I turning this over to?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think it's time for the press, our friends in the press to leave now. Thank you.
It's time for our friends in the press to leave. Out you go. Come on, tomorrow's a new day. You've got tomorrow to come up with questions. So come on now. You don't want to ask them now. All right, 239-479-5592. Speaking of which, how are we doing? Y'all in sending me questions on what you would like to see the press ask today? The first questions that the press will be able to ask Joe Biden. What do you have for me? Let's go over them. Some of the, oh gosh, some of you are. Oh man, some of you are brutal. Charlie said, "Are you going to sign an executive order to put shields for the wind in an escalator on Air Force One?" There you go. That's a good one. We need a windshield in an escalator. Oh man, there were so many memes with that. See, I can't even repeat some of these. I want to. Yeah, we'll get to them. Yeah, I will. All right. 239-479-5592. We're going to get to your questions. What would you ask Joe Biden today if you were the press coming up tonight? Jake's looking at some of these. It's like, I can't repeat them. All right. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News. By the way, drewsteele.com, the website. If you're there, go ahead and send questions to the website as well. I'm looking, and we'll put them on the screen coming up. All right. It's Daybreak, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News.
When only the truth will do.
This Fox News business report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
It's about to get more expensive to watch Disney's popular streaming service. Tomorrow, subscription prices will increase by $1 to $7.99 a month. More Americans are eligible for a tax break on unemployment benefits. The IRS says President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, passed last week, waives federal income taxes on up to $10,200 in unemployment for those making less than $150,000 a year. Amazon faces growing worker pressure as employees in Alabama prepare to vote this month over whether to unionize. And stocks ended lower yesterday amid a decline in big tech shares. The Dow lost 3 points, but the tech-heavy Nasdaq slid 265 points or 2%. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Yeah, well, no, it'll be better than that. They'll ask. It'll be better than that. Hey, everybody, I'm just talking to Jake. So I'm talking, you have to see some of the, I can't hold the button and do the mouse at the same time to hear, so I can read some of these questions. But Jake's like, I don't want to watch the press conference because it's going to be all like, what's your favorite color? Do you like chocolate or vanilla cake? Which I don't even know if you can ask these days because it's not PC. But is that the idea? But anyway, all right, so let's see what you got here. You ready? Here we go. Will Harris resign because of her new assignment? Oh, you mean on the border? Yeah, that's not gonna Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. Will gun control work as well as our illegal drug control laws? All right. Let's see. Trying to say. Oh man. Hey, old Joe, are you the walking, talking Walter of Jeff Durham's show? So somebody wants to know if Joe Biden is the walking, talking Walter on the Jeff Dunham.
Oh yeah, that's great. Oh man.
Travis said so. Travis wants to know if Biden sits when he.
Probably.
Oh.
I would imagine he probably wipes.
All right. Come on. Do we really want to go there this morning? Jake does. All right. Good morning, everybody. Who's here? Let's see. Good morning, everyone. Eric D, good morning. I already asked that. How are your dogs? I know. That's what I said, Ken. I said that would be an uncomfortable question. How are the dogs? Oh, gosh. I didn't say that. All right. Who's here with us this morning? On TrueSteel.com. Let's see who's with us. That would, yeah. Hey, how much money did you receive from China through your son would be my question. Don't laugh, Gary, because that was kind of asked sort of yesterday, and I'm going to get to that coming up. The Moscow mayor. Did you hear about the Moscow mayor question? Oh, yeah. Yep. That was asked yesterday, so we're gonna have that. All right, so who's with us this morning? Let's see. I know Ken, you're there. I know you're there. Good morning. Let's see. Marsha with the cat with the mustache. All right. Good morning, Trev. Trev is here. Obviously, we got Doug here. And good morning, Jane. And good morning, Native American. And good morning, Benjamin and Galen. That was like a song. Yeah. Yes, Gary. Yes, they asked, the press asked Jen Psaki yesterday if she had any clue about the $3.5 million that was given to the company that was being run by Hunter Biden back in 2015 when Biden was the vice president, and the Senate was looking into it, and she said she had no idea. None. Even though it was in the debates, they were talking about it. So you'll hear the audio. I've got it coming up, so you'll see. Yeah. All right, what else? Tiffany, good morning, Tiffany. Good to see you. It's a great picture. What difference does it make?
It doesn't.
All right. Gary Kircher, sorry. There's a lot of Garys. A lot of people named Gary that watch the show. Did you know that?
A lot of Garys.
A lot of Garys.
A lot of Mikes.
Now, when you think, a lot of Mikes and a lot of Garys. Now, when you think of a famous Gary, I'm looking at Jake.
SpongeBob.
That's right. The Gary from SpongeBob SquarePants is the most famous Gary ever.
That's all I know, really. What other Gary is
Let's
there?
be honest. All right. Comments and reactions. Here we go. Who to you is the most famous Gary of all time? Gary. Who's the most famous Gary? And if you're a Gary, tell us, who's the most famous? It's Gary from SpongeBob.
It's gotta be.
That's it. Who else would there be? I can't
Gary.
even think of. I can't either. Gary. Oh boy. Maybe we need to talk about this on the air.
Maybe we do.
Tiffany Ann said Gary Coleman. Gary Sinise. That's a good one. Yeah. Sean Hartman said Gary Potter. Really? Really, Sean? Gary Potter. It is too early for you, isn't it, Sean? Gary Merrill? Merrill Gary? Merrill. What is Merrill? Oh, Ken was asking, are you going to fire Durham? Okay. Gary Moore. Gary Moore. Who's Gary Moore? I don't even know. I'm not sure. All right. Well, we'll talk about this on the air. Why not? It's Thursday. I feel like it's Friday anyway. All right, coming up. Stay there.
you're heading to Pine Island. We're slow as well on Pondella Road east and west between Business 41 and US 41. Still a very nice commute on Bayshore Road heading eastbound all the way to I-75. Slowdowns on Coon Road beginning, heading north to Bayshore Road. Average speed is at 19 miles per hour. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life, starting now. River Hall is where it all starts. A true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master planned communities, where country club living meets the casual, barefoot Florida lifestyle. River Hall's Davis Love III Championship Golf Course is one of the top-rated courses in the Gulf Coast area, and you'll love River Hall's private oasis pools, bike paths, fitness center, tennis and bocce courts, and more. Live large with homes priced from just the 500s to the 800s from Pulte. The Pulte collection of breezy, open floor plans offers something for every lifestyle, with upscale finishes and features designed for elegant, gracious living. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com. That's liveriverhall.com.
Hot out today, huh?
You know it.
Glad the AC's working.
No kidding.
What if the AC quit?
Oh, man. Couldn't do a thing inside then.
Too hot.
No way Ashley could do her homework in here.
Hard to concentrate.
Wouldn't even bother trying to study.
Well...
Of course her grades would slip.
Dave.
She could kiss Harvard goodbye.
Dave.
Probably end up at the U. Oh, my little girl.
Dave.
What?
What's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, best case, I make one call, AC's back up and running right away, everything's fine.
That's best?
Oh, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 AC trucks standing by waiting for you to call, loaded with parts, ready to go.
Right now?
Right now.
Huh. Sure is hot out today.
When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So, you're saying...
She can still go to Harvard.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. Kobe Cooling has been around a very long time. It's spelled kind of funny, too. K-O-B-I-E-K-O-O-L-I-N-G. There's other companies out there with similar sounding names, but there's only one Kobe Cooling. If you want the one and only Kobe Cooling, dial 239-482-1542. The only completely NATE certified mechanic staff in South Florida. So remember, if you want the company that's been voted the best year after year, you want Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949. 239-482-1542.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes.
Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
4 days, 1 event. Add it up and you get the Give Me 5 event, where you can buy a new Nissan for just $5 a day. Only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Through Sunday at 7 p.m. It's the Give Me 5 event. $5 a day is all you need to drive the hottest new crossover on the road. A brand new 2021 Nissan Rogue. Only at the #1 Nissan dealer in Florida can you buy a new Nissan for less than a latte. Just $5 a day for a Rogue. Or for only $4 a day, you can drive a brand new 2021 Altima. A brand new car for $4 a day. Give us $5, get a brand new Rogue. $4 and get an Altima. Who says you can't get much for $5 these days? This sale ends at 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida sells more Nissans than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line. DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching there. A couple of things we're asking from you. A little ask this morning. The first thing is, knowing that Joe Biden's going to be taking questions from the press tonight, we thought, well, why not give the press a little bit of a head start? Maybe you might have some questions that you would like to ask Joe Biden if you were a member of the press, or maybe we can just do our due diligence here. And as you send these great, great questions that we're looking at either on the text line or in the comments and reaction section on the website, drewsteele.com. By the way, it's mobile friendly, and you can even text it or type it into the comments and reaction from your phone or your smart device, that maybe we can do something really nice for the media and pass on these questions so we can help you out a little bit there. So what questions would you ask if you were the members of the press? And some of these I can't even repeat. Somebody said, question for Biden, what day is it? That's not very nice. All right, let's see. What else? Will you sign executive orders? I can't repeat that. Goodness. Daniel Desmond said, hey, Joe, what did you have for lunch today? See, that's not very nice. These are, you are not, it's just not kind. It's not kind.
That's pretty much the caliber of questions.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been getting. And I guess here's a legitimate question that you can ask. What is an assault weapon? Very, very good. Whoever sent that, texted that, what is an assault weapon? Can you explain what an assault weapon is? All I can see is Joe Biden saying, like that's his exploding head. It's yeah. And then the second question that we wanted to ask is something that was happening. If you watch DrewSteele.com, the website, you'll see that we have a conversation off the air with you. So it's another way to communicate. And so we started to talk about these questions, and there were I found out, and it seems like there are a lot of Garys that watch on the stream. And then we were talking about the most famous person named Gary, and we couldn't really think of it. Jake was, and this is what I expected. I brought this up because when I said to Jake, tell me the most famous Gary that you can think of. And go ahead, tell everybody what you said.
SpongeBob's cat.
SpongeBob's cat's named Gary. And then I thought he's right. I don't know who is the most famous Gary. So I'm just looking for that too. So if you want to call or you want to text, 239-479-5592. So we're just looking to find out, because I can't think of who would be the most famous. Gary Cooper. All right. Gary Cooper is Will Nicastro, who just texted. I'm sorry, comments and reactions. Gary Cooper, the actor. That's probably the most famous Gary.
Can't be. I don't know who he is.
Peter Westergeek. Is that really your name for Westergeek? Okay. Gary, Indiana. But that's not a person. That's a place. All right. So. And again, somebody asked questions for Joe Biden, a few were the press. How are the dogs? That's not very nice. Although, maybe you're just really concerned.
Maybe we just ask him who's the most famous Gary.
Okay. Joel from Naples said Gary Oldman. So, there are some. Mike and Marco said Gary Hart. Maybe that would be more infamous than famous, I guess, in his own way. Oh, you all have some really, really good answers now. 239-479-5592. Gary Carter, famous catcher for the New York Mets. And the Expos when they were in Montreal. Gary Player, famous. You don't know who Gary Player is.
I don't know any of these.
Okay, Gary Player is famous golfer. Gary from the Weird Science movie. Do you remember the movie Weird Science?
Never heard of it.
Look that up. If you grew up in the 80s, Weird Science was one of your favorite movies, and not because it was about the science. Go ahead and look it up. Gary Busey. There. All right. See now. Okay. Now you know.
Okay. There we go.
Gary Busey. And trying to think of what. All right. So there's a lot. Gary Shandling. You don't know who Gary Shandling is. Okay. All right. 239-479-5592. Lots of calls and texts coming in now. Here was an interesting exchange yesterday. Jen Psaki, who we all know is the Circle Back girl.
I hate to disappoint you, but I will have to circle back with you on that as well. Circle back. Circle back.
Getting an interesting question from the press yesterday. One that I don't think she was ready for, or a lot of people were ready for yesterday. Listen to this. So this was a question that was asked about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden in the news? Really?
There was a report last year from the Senate Finance and Homeland Security Committees. It claimed that the wife of Moscow's former mayor paid a company associated with the president's son $3.5 million. There was no explanation for this alleged payments, and I'm wondering if you could tell us if that claim is accurate, and if so, what the $3.5 million was paid for.
Wow. Whoa. The Moscow mayor, $3.5 million. The wife of the mayor of Moscow, $3.5 million to a company that was run by Hunter Biden. That story in the Senate looking into that and the issues there. And while he was, Joe Biden was vice president. That is an interesting question to bring up. What do you think Jen Psaki's answer was to that question?
Not familiar with that claim. Doesn't sound like it's backed up by a lot of evidence. If you have evidence or specifics, happy to discuss it further.
Committee's report. So you haven't asked about this, or?
I'm not familiar with the report at all.
You're not familiar with the report. You're not familiar with the report. Wait, how could you not be familiar with the report? It was part of the debate between Trump and Biden. The famous debate where Chris Wallace was just shutting down. I think it was the first one, wasn't it? Where Chris Wallace was just kind of shutting down the former president. Don't you remember this?
As the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
When somebody gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow,
let's talk about
that true.
Gentlemen,
that report is totally discredited.
That report is not true. It's been totally really? Has it been discredited? Okay, so what is this that they're even talking about? And interesting that they're bringing Hunter Biden up right now, right? So Hunter Biden received a $3.5 million wire transfer from Elena Baturina, the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. This is the Senate report. This was in the Senate Finance and Homeland Security Committee's disclosed suspicious activity report. Suspicious activity report on Ukraine corruption. Treasury Department turned over to the Senate investigators, showing a direct link between Hunter Biden and Baturina. The Senate report declared, identifying a firm that the younger Biden, this is from Just the News, by the way, from October of 2020, just to refresh your memory, that the younger Biden and his business partner, Devin Archer, had created in 2013 as the recipients of the 2014 payment. Remember, Joe Biden's vice president of the United States, China Joe. Not a joke.
Not a joke.
On February 14th, this was in 2014, wired $3.5 million to a Rosemont Seneca Thornton LLC bank account for a consultancy agreement. Rosemont Seneca Thornton is an investment firm co-founded by Hunter Biden that was incorporated on May 28th, 2013 in Wilmington, Delaware. There's no connection at all. It's not only flagged because of the source, but also because of the suspicious proximity to the events unfolding in Eastern Europe. Here's why it's important, everybody. Another piece of why it's important. It's not just the monies. It's not just about Joe Biden and funneling money and who is getting what and money for the big guy and everything else. All of that stuff and Hunter Biden and the money that he was receiving. But why would the Senate Finance and Homeland Security committees disclose a suspicious activity report? What would be the concern here? Here it is. The payment was made 4 days before the revolution that successfully ousted Ukraine's Russian-friendly president, and less than 2 weeks before Vladimir Putin sent Russian forces to invade Ukraine's Crimea region and to annex it. What? It's not just the money, everybody. It's the kind of deals that were being made behind the scenes. And did any of this have anything to do with these transactions? 11 more transactions from Batarina to entities tied to Hunter Biden in 2015. And were any of these connected to all of the things that were happening? Like, remember when people were saying, how did you allow Russia to annex Crimea, and how did you allow all of that to happen and look the other way? Yeah, some interesting questions there. And now we hear about this. So not even now, it's from before, but why bring this up now? Why did this come up now? And it's one of two things. And in my guesstimation, it's one of two things. It's getting ahead of the story to say that you asked about it so that you don't have to ask it today, so you don't have to talk about it anymore. It's already been asked. It's already been put to bed. That's it. It's done. We don't have to discuss this anymore. Or the media is actually starting to do a little bit of due diligence with this administration, and they just wanted the honeymoon period to be over, and now they're going to ask the tough questions and they want answers. I don't know. Which one do you think it is? Interesting. I just thought it was interesting. 239-479-5592. All right, again, a lot of people asking and sending in questions, whether it's in the comments and reactions at drewsteele.com, or whether it's on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio, or whether it's at 239-479-5592. What are you going to ask if you were the press, and if you had the opportunity to ask questions of the President of the United States, who today is going to have his very first news conference? How do you think that's going to go? What are some of the tough questions, or the easy questions, or any question that you would ask? I'm kind of gathering them up, and through the morning, just have a little bit of fun with it and see what questions you would ask. Let's see. I'm looking at some of the questions that are coming through. All right. Ken Skelton says, will the swamp ever be drained? That's a question. Yeah. I think we already know the answer to that. Let's see. Steve would ask what today's date is and what his name is. That's not very nice. That's not very nice. All right, Dan's got a legit question, right, Dan? Fort Myers,
Go ahead. You're going to love this one, Drew.
I'm going to love it. Let's go.
Okay, you're the president. You ready?
Yep.
All right, Mr. President, sir, what are you doing to combat election fraud?
Election fraud. All right, that's a good question. Yeah, what are you doing? Are you combating it, or are you... Well, we don't... I can tell you right now, Dan, we don't like election fraud.
No, we don't.
No, not a joke.
People do not like election fraud.
That's
Not a
right.
joke.
Yep.
We choose truth over facts.
I have no idea what he's going to say. All right, good one. Dan, that's a very good question. All right, who knows? We'll get some more from you coming up. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash at Pine Island Road and 41 is still active on the roadways, but no major backups. If you're heading north of Pine Island Road on 41, just a tap on the brakes. Now, commuters on Colonial Boulevard, the crash at Dynasty Drive, which is in front of the Forum, is delaying traffic. We are backed up right now heading westbound to the interstate. To avoid this, I would go ahead and hop on MLK Boulevard to get onto I-75. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity as temperatures skyrocket this afternoon to the upper 80s and lower 90s, with the heat index making it feel even a little bit warmer. Partly cloudy skies and a breezy wind not going to help much with the heat as we keep it rolling all the way through the weekend, with even the potential to near some records. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees says.
Weehee is the deputy director of the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy. It's a bunch of leftists. In Newsweek magazine, Ms. Weehee writes that state governments should not wait for Washington to soak the rich with higher taxes. She says the states should begin to do that themselves right now. She says that her Take Your Money Institute researched every state's taxation system, and they concluded that most states don't capture enough money from high-income households. Now, this supposedly leads to income inequality and the other problems libs complain about when they want your money. The bottom line, Ms. Weehee thinks that states should whack the rich harder right now instead of waiting for progressives to whack the rich from Washington. Ms. Weehee, haven't you noticed that liberal states have been slamming rich residents with high taxes for decades? And that's why so many people are leaving these high-tax states for low-tax states, and they're taking their money with them. They are running away from you, Ms. Weehee, and they're going to keep running away from you, Ms. Weehee, because they have sense.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, doctor. So how are you feeling?
With Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, be seen by your Millennium healthcare provider in the comfort of your home from your computer, smartphone, or tablet.
So good to see you.
Call your Millennium doctor's office or 844-CALL-MPG to request a virtual visit with the care team who knows you best.
I'll talk to you soon.
Millennium's telehealth service, MPG Connect. Your doctor, your device, your connection to a healthier life.
I gotta tell you how awesome it is when my family comes over and I say, you're gonna get great tasting water straight from your faucet. I'm telling you, it's great on your skin, your hair, and your appliances. Think of what your water's doing now. Well, you should call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. And I'm telling you, you're gonna love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system. Every faucet in your house, it's the coolest thing ever. And there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. When you give Max a call, Pentair, trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water. That's a big deal, right? With their mobile showroom, you're wondering what you're going to get. A wide range of water treatment options, and you can see them in front of you. They install your new Pentair water system for you, and the big news right now is Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system. It is certified to reduce 99% of lead. Call now for your free water test, and right now save 15% on your whole home water system like I have in my house. With Pentair, never any sales pressure, so call them. 880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Some business news. I saw that Southwest Airlines is doing away with social distancing and has decided to return to its pre-pandemic boarding procedures. I think the real story here is that Southwest is claiming that they have boarding procedures.
All right. So I guess pre-pandemic, all right, a lot of people flying. I think there were like 1 million people now who flew last month. Is that right? I mean, the numbers are starting to come up now. We're seeing more and more people starting to fly. And with that, I think there are more and more fights on flights. Wasn't there yesterday, wasn't there a big 2 people getting off a plane and there was a big two ladies getting off a plane and there was a big fight? So we're almost back to normal, everybody. Fights on planes, getting off. Get off the flight. And it's getting this close to normal. My fingers are thinly spread apart, kind of, sort of. All right. All right, when we come back, Matt Caldwell is going to join us. And we're going to talk a little bit about some Southwest Florida issues, very important stuff, and some gun control issues that were in the news yesterday. You're not going to want to miss this coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News.
He's got some questions to answer. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden will have his long-awaited first full news conference today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, watch for the president to field questions on the southern border, new spending initiatives, including a proposed infrastructure bill that could cost $3 trillion, and gun control. The White House has signaled executive orders on guns could be coming in the aftermath of recent mass shootings. The news conference comes when President Biden's 64th day in office, later than any of his predecessors in 4 decades. The president's been preparing, with aides grilling him during a mock session. Reporters will gather in the East Room of the White House for the event during the 1 p.m. hour Eastern. Dave?
Rachel, as for the border issue, the president has put Vice President Harris in charge of dealing with the migrant surge.
Because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle.
Those are the areas where migrants have been coming from. More than 16,000 children have come here alone, are being housed in Border Patrol and Health and Human Services custody. Things got testy in the Senate. In a debate over election reform, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer critical of Republican-led states limiting early voting.
It's one of the most despicable things I have seen in all my years. Shame,
shame, shame.
Democrats are pushing for a measure that would require early voting windows and same-day registration. Top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell says it's a federal takeover.
Popular policies like voter ID requirements would be banned.
A similar measure has already passed the Democrat-controlled House, but it lacks the 60-vote bipartisan support needed to advance in the Senate.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The total number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. now tops 30 million. Almost 87,000 new infections reported yesterday, the most in a day in a month and a half. And North Korea has fired off another missile test, ballistic missiles this time, the first ones of those since President Biden took office. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Pine Island Road on 41 is still active on the roadways, but no major backups. If you're heading north of Pine Island Road on 41, just a tap on the brakes. Now, commuters on Colonial Boulevard, the crash at Dynasty Drive, which is in front of the Forum, is delaying traffic. We are backed up right now heading westbound to the interstate. To avoid this, I would go ahead and hop on MLK Boulevard to get onto I-75. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes. Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Everyone is watching how their brackets are playing out during March Madness on Wink TV, except Dish Network subscribers. Dish has locked their subscribers out from watching the NCAA playoffs on Wink. Subscribers no longer have all of the programming they pay for. Don't get caught playing games with Dish. You can watch the games on all the other TV providers. Take action now to watch your favorite teams, Wink News, and CBS.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. If you want to go there right now, you can check us out. It is mobile friendly. You can watch on your phone, on your smart device, on your computer. You can always watch Facebook if you'd like at Drew Steele Radio. We are still there. Today, this morning, we are excited because we know that tonight that the president of the United States finally, it's a big deal. It's almost like a bombshell. It's
Breaking news.
a bombshell. The president's going to take questions. It's going to be a news conference tonight. So we thought, well, in all fairness, the press doesn't do any kind of journalism. I mean, it's almost like funny. You can't even say journalism in the press with a straight face. So I thought maybe we would help them. You here in Southwest Florida, the smartest audience anywhere in the country, listening to this program, you could come up with some very salient, wise questions that we could ask the president tonight, and I can forward them off to the press. You know, we've got some connections. We'll forward them off to the press. And so I thought maybe you have some. 239-479-5592. You can text them, and we'll make sure we read some of them this morning, and we'll send them off. If you could ask a question of President Biden tonight at his first news conference, what will you ask? I don't know if it's tonight or this afternoon. I forget what time it is. But today, what would be the questions you would ask? I don't know. Matt Caldwell. Matt Caldwell's joining us on Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, Lee County property appraiser, of course, former representative here in Tallahassee. And we know there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on in the state. There's a lot going on with our Second Amendment rights. And there's a lot going on with you. And that's why I have you here. Hi.
Always a pleasure. Glad to be on this morning.
I just said it is. That was kind of rude. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like, yes, it is a pleasure that you're on my program, sir. That was kind of weird. Sorry about that. What I meant to say was, it's a pleasure having you. There you go. All right. I don't know. What would you ask the president? Did you think about that? I mean, I'm kind of throwing this at you right now, but off the top of your head, if you could ask one question of the president tonight as a member of the press, you think about that, what would you ask?
Well, first of all, obviously, it's not going to be tonight because it's going to be an early bird special kind of timeline for the interview for his age. But
wait, hold on. Okay.
Well, I'd ask him, when should we expect him to formally resign and allow Kamala to officially take control of the administration?
Would you really ask that? That's funny because a lot of people have been saying the same thing. I mean, you're passing. Can you imagine being the vice president of the United States with a border crisis that is clear that it's happening right now, and the president goes, "Hey, I'm giving you the job. Here you go." I think the crisis is over to you. You figure this out. I'm not dealing with this. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Is that hey, I'm just admitting what everybody knows that you really are the de facto? Or is this like, I don't want to deal with it, you handle it, and when it's remains a mess, you'll get blamed?
Well, yeah. Well, I obviously have very little faith in Kamala's ability to solve this border crisis as long as they want to pretend that they can have it both ways. But frankly, it probably is a necessity. I mean, we all knew this coming in. The whole country, even people that voted for Biden and worked to get him elected, they knew they were voting for a guy that couldn't do the job, that wasn't going to make it for 4 years. And so just it's a practical reality. The guy's fallen downstairs. He doesn't have the stamina to do the job. He's going to have to send Kamala out to take care of things like this. I mean, look, he's hidden from the press for 2 months.
Yeah.
We're at the end of March, and he's finally doing a press conference.
Yeah, I think it's so obvious. I mean, it's obvious to everybody. It's obvious to the press. It's obvious. I don't know if it's obvious to the 872 million people that voted for him. Clearly, they wanted him. I mean, it's an overwhelming support. That's a whole other subject. Yeah, somebody texted and said, "Mr. President, are you going to put windscreens on the stairwell to Air Force One?" That's not very nice. See, that's the kind of, we can't have questions like that. That's just rude. Somebody did ask Mr. President, why do you wear a mask when you've been vaccinated? Ooh, that's an interesting, and again, boy, am I getting off on a tangent. I didn't want to talk about these issues with you necessarily. There's so many other things I want to get to, and we will, but boy, that is fascinating. The COVID issue, what is and is not, when it comes to the science and the data that the left always says that they want to have. What is mask mandates and what are they doing when it comes to across the country as opposed to places that don't have mask mandates? And then even the vaccine. If we're told that once you're vaccinated, a couple of weeks afterwards, you've got nothing to worry about. If we're told that if you've already had it, you've got nothing to worry about, what are we worrying about?
That's exactly right. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like the people that drive around in the car by themselves with a mask on. We're in a strange time, Drew.
Don't get Jake started. Don't get Jake started. He screams at me almost every morning about something that he saw that had to do with that. All right, let's get to some of the pertinent issues, if you will. Hey, I wanted to bring this up right out of the gate because I saw a couple of stories out there. The news press had a story. Calusa Waterkeepers put something out there recently about 9-county comparative report. Troubling trends in water quality in Southwest Florida. Basically, we stink. 9 counties, from Collier, Lee, Charlotte, Sarasota, Manatee, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Hendry, Glades counties, everything is bad. It's just not getting better. According to Calusa Waterkeeper and John Cassani, who's the principal author of the report, says it's just bad. Nothing's getting better. We're in trouble. So I don't know. What does that mean? Does it mean, what is it? More money? What do we have to do? What's so bad? And then on the other side of it is another story that I wanted to bring up because then at the same time, we're also told by the same people, Calusa Waterkeeper and the Center for Biological Diversity, about a new report that was discussed, suggesting that the sugarcane farmers, here we go, Big Sugar, they're the cause of chronic manatee exposure to glyphosate. You probably heard of that story. But there was even an article, I guess, in the news press that said, no, that's not true. And so, again, the water flows from the lake and what is and isn't the facts. We're still doing this. So maybe you can touch on both of these topics.
Yeah, I mean, it will never cease to amaze me, these groups that claim farmers who are located south of the lake and don't send any water to the lake are somehow responsible for all the ills of the lake and the Caloosahatchee. It's mind-boggling. It absolutely runs contrary to any common sense. The average person just looks at the situation. You know, what's crazy about this manatee story, when I was a kid 30 years ago, you know, manatees were going to disappear. That was what we learned in class. They were going to go extinct. We'd never see any again. There were about 1,000 manatees then. And now the FWC says there's somewhere north of 7,000 in the state, enough that they actually reduced them from endangered to threatened. They're moving towards a sustainable population, just like the bald eagle, you know, was going to go extinct 40, 50 years ago, and now is totally stable, great population, not threatened or endangered at all. So how do you square that reality, the success we've seen over the last 3 decades with the claims of these groups? And the only conclusion you come to is it's about money. It has to be about money. It has to be about notoriety. It has to be about they are desperate to be relevant in a world that's actually getting better, and they have to hide the ball on what the truth is to get you scared enough to raise money, to make waves, and to accomplish whatever their real goals are. Because if it's about the animals, all the science and the data points to success, and only success, over the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and that's what's so frustrating to many people because, you know, again, we've talked about this a million times, and we'll continue to talk about it because clearly it's not going to go away. The suggestions will be that things are just getting worse, that we still have Big Sugar, that's a big problem, and the EAA back pumping and everything that's going on, and they'll continue these stories over and over and over again. And yet we do have a governor who has no problem giving $600+ million to these environmental organizations, and the money keeps coming. It doesn't stop. It's not like we're trimming back at all, and the research and everything else. But yet, like you said, it's our money. Let's not forget that, where the money's coming from. So ultimately, what do we benefit if we have two sides that can't even come to an agreement, almost like the COVID issue? Like, how could you possibly make the environment political? Why would you do that? Why would you make COVID political? If we're all trying to come to the same conclusion, then all it can be is about you just perpetuating this and keeping it alive because you want that money to continue to flow to you. To what end? For what purpose? If it's not for something that I don't know what it is, maybe you can explain that.
Well, no, I think you've hit the nail on the head. The bane of pure politics is power and money, and that drives all of these decisions. It drives the kind of frustrations we have, whether we're talking about the budget deficit in D.C. or the decisions to continue to try to force us to wear masks even after we're vaccinated, or convince us despite all the evidence to the contrary, that things are actually getting better, that somehow we're headed in the wrong direction and things are only going to get worse. And we just have to put more power in the hands of the people who the experts, in quotations. And that doesn't ever turn out well. And people know that. And it's what has people just angry and upset about everything in our political life these days. And, our elected leaders need to continue to push back against that narrative and talk about, look, we live in the greatest state in the greatest country in the world, with a governor that pushed back against the national narrative on the COVID universe. We live in a county where we never shut down and we never force people to go and hide in their homes. And we need to be proud of that narrative and push against everybody else in this state and this country to see things the way that we see them here in Southwest Florida.
Yeah, and coming up, I want you all to stay here, because coming up at the bottom of the hour, I've got an interesting story that comes out of The Atlantic, a left-leaning organization, a left-leaning writer, Derek Thompson, writing for The Atlantic, The Curious Case of Florida's Pandemic Response. And I'm just telling you, it will display full-on how the politics are at play when it comes to COVID, how they don't want to admit what is right in front of them. They want to put the spin on it like they do everything else about what's happened here in the state of Florida. And wait till you hear the spin coming from The Atlantic. And remember, there are people that are listening and reading The Atlantic and believe whatever the left-leaning spin is as gospel. That's just the way it is. But when you recognize that, that's how you fight back, when you recognize what they're doing. And I'll read this a part of this article, and that's going to be coming up. So I just want you to be prepared for that. All right, I want to get to this issue quickly. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. The issues of gun control now have become front and center. And here we go once again. The horrific tragedy in Boulder, Colorado, with an FBI who, listen, and many people could make the case, supposedly he was on the FBI's radar. How is it possible that the FBI had the shooter on the radar and somehow you missed this? Is it because you're too busy focusing on Oath Keepers and people January 6th in Washington, D.C., and you're too busy going to places in Naples and Cape Coral and bringing everything to bear to bang down somebody's door who was there, who wasn't doing what you're claiming they were? I mean, don't get me started. It just gets a little too crazy. And then the politics again coming into play. We should be worried about the real terrorists that are out there. Not those that some might mention are the imagined for political reasons. But now we have, on top of this, the talk about gun control. We have the Ninth Circuit Court, who ruled that Americans have no right not only to carry guns, but not even carry them open or concealed. So the only place the Ninth Circuit Court is saying, Matt Caldwell, that you can have a firearm is in your home. That's it. Can't carry, can't have it. No right to carry is what they're saying. They just ruled on this yesterday, and it would impact Alaska, Hawaii, California, Arizona, Oregon, Washington State, Montana. What do you say about this and where we are right now, and what maybe even is being discussed in Tallahassee as we speak?
It really is stunning when you look at a case like that, and the idea that our guaranteed right to bear arms means that we can't actually bear them anywhere. How you end up working yourself in a knot like that. But the Ninth Circuit specializes in it. And, we're going to have to look to the Supreme Court. They've had two really good decisions, early part of the 2010s, the Heller decision and then the follow-up to that. But I don't take anything for granted that despite the majority that we have in terms of Trump appointees on the court right now. What's really tragic, though, is you think about Colorado, and there's two things that jump to mind. First of all, here's a place where if any of those 10 people, the 9 people who weren't a police officer, had the right to carry, you know that situation would have turned out differently. It would have turned out like the church a few years ago, when the gentleman was able to take care of the terrorists before he shot anyone. And they've disarmed their populace here. It's really, really insane. And then the solution that's proposed by our government is to give more power to agencies like the FBI. agencies like the FBI that knew this person was a threat and didn't respond adequately, it's a repeat of what happened to us in Broward County 3 years ago, where they knew he was a danger and the FBI did nothing about it, and dozens of school children died as a result of it. The federal government fails to protect us, and yet Biden's solution is going to involve giving more power to those exact same people.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that there's going to be any different result now than we've had before. They're doing their best to chip away. There was one story. Oh, I got to just play this. I just have to play this little piece of audio that has to do with what's going on with this situation. It was on CNN, so you can see where I'm getting ready to go. And Jake Tapper was upset about something that one of the senators, Senator Kennedy, said about comparing the issues of gun control to drunk driving. It's an analogy that he made that I'm going to leave, and I'll play the audio on that specifically later on this morning. But Jake Tapper had a guest on who was talking about the concerns that she had with Republicans, gun control, Second Amendment. And I want you to listen to this and give me your thoughts, because I'll explain in just a second. So listen to what this the analysis was from CNN on gun control and the issues that they have with Republicans.
Republicans are increasingly opposed to universal background checks. And when you hear that argument that Senator Kennedy is making, what it is a slippery slope argument. The base is telling them any sort of increase in guns control measures is going to be a step toward eradicating, gun ownership in this country altogether. And when that is the position of one side of this argument, I think it's very hard to come to the middle here. And I think many Republicans are increasingly further on the right on this issue.
She's joking, right? She's making the argument that we're talking about now. So it's like, what do you think we're going to do? A slippery slope to what? What are you talking about? When you have federal government entities that have been weaponized against American citizens, when we've seen proof of that, when we see all the things that the federal government is doing politically, then we see those on the left who would clearly do what they can politically to make sure that it is not just a little nip here and a little nip there. It's just common sense. No. We know where they want to go with this. And she talks. It's ridiculous, that argument. Am I right? Do you see what I'm saying? What she's talking about?
Well, absolutely. There is no slope here. There's a cliff.
Right.
And those of us that care about the Constitution, that care about the Second Amendment as much as we care about the First, recognize that powerful interests that want to control our lives are going to abuse the Constitution and specifically the Bill of Rights. These kind of people and these kind of policies are exactly why the founders wrote the Bill of Rights, because they knew that powerful government interests were going to try to muzzle us, try to take away our guns, and not because it was some kind of theoretical experience for them. That is exactly what the king did to them to keep them from expressing their freedoms.
Yeah,
they knew what powerful government officials try to do.
Yep. All right, Matt Caldwell, good stuff. We always appreciate you coming on, and so that was a good one. So Matt Caldwell's first question for the president, if he were a member of the press tonight, would be, say it again.
When are you going to retire and let Kamala be president?
Okay. And then we're going to get your calls and texts, 239-479-5592, because we just want to help the press out, Matt. That's all we want to do. We want to be helpful to journalists who journalize or in their own way or whatever they do. I'm not really sure what they do right now, but they look good sometimes. All right, that's it. We got to go. All right, Matt Caldwell, thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right, see you later. 239-479-5592. What would you ask the president tonight if you were a member of the press? We'll get to that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
What's better than getting the full original MSRP for your trade-in? How about winning $2,500? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. We've partnered with our friends down the road at South Street Restaurant to present you with the Just for Kicks $2,500 giveaway. To participate, just head on over to South Street Restaurant and guess how many basketballs are in the all-new 2021 Nissan Kicks we have displayed there. It's that easy. While you're there, tell them Naples Nissan sent you to get a half-off pizza and buy one, get one free on select drinks. Come see us at Naples Nissan to get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in. Then head on over to South Street Restaurant in your new ride to enter the Just for Kicks giveaway for your chance to win $2,500. We're both right here on Pine Ridge Road. Visit NaplesNissan.com for full details. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Hey, Southwest Florida, it's your friend Tyler McCluskey here, coming to you from 92.5 Fox News. Again, we're just promoting our brand new show, The Tyler McCluskey Show, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week, we're going to have a new guest on, local businesses, helping you grow, everything that you need to know, the insurance space, mortgages, real estate. Please visit our website at www.tylermccluskey.com and tune in this Saturday at 11 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment, we've got you covered.
Guys, more candles on the cake means less testosterone in the tank. But we can turn this back into this.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a tune-up.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. neogenicmd.com. Neogenics, rediscover your youth. 277-9999.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
We invite you to visit United Fidelity Bank Banking Center located at 14241 Metro Parkway in Fort Myers, and let us help you save it, grow it, and enjoy it with our market-leading 12-month CD earning 0.55% APY. Shop and compare rates, and then invest with United Fidelity Bank's 12-month CD that earns 0.55% APY. The difference is United Fidelity Bank. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Annual percentage yield current as of 3/17/2021. This minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. 12-month CD renews automatically.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Pine Island Road and 41 is still active on the roadways, but no major backups. If you're heading north of Pine Island Road on 41, just a tap on the brakes. Now, commuters on Colonial Boulevard, the crash at Dynasty Drive, which is in front of the Forum, is delaying traffic. We are backed up right now heading westbound to the interstate. To avoid this, I would go ahead and hop on MLK Boulevard to get onto I-75. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you can agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life, starting now. River Hall is where it all starts, a true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master-planned communities, where country club living meets the casual, barefoot Florida lifestyle. River Hall's Davis Love III Championship Golf Course is one of the top-rated courses in the Gulf Coast area, and you'll love River Hall's private Oasis pools, bike paths, fitness center, tennis and bocce courts, and more. Live large with homes priced from just the 500s to the 800s from Pulte. The Pulte collection of breezy, open floor plans offers something for every lifestyle, with upscale finishes and features designed for elegant, gracious living. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com. That's liveriverhall.com.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds at the most competitive prices in the world. Jason and Todd have partnered with De Beers in Canada and Africa, and they've traveled to Israel, Antwerp, and India to select the most beautiful diamonds. Visit the Diamond District today for your best diamond buying experience.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Chevy sales desk, this is Marty.
Marty!
Yeah?
Everyone's getting lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
And what, I'm getting lucky too?
No, Marty, you've never been lucky in your life, especially in high school.
All right.
I'm the Lucky Charm, saving customers a pot of gold on new Victory Lane Chevys.
Oh, yeah, so you're the magic leprechaun here, huh?
No, Marty, you're the only one conning your customers. He hung up. Gulf Coast, it's time to get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Shipments of new 2021 Chevys are arriving daily. Be first in line to save thousands. Plus, get our gigantic cash allowance for any trade. Get lucky now. Find new roads with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. New 2021 Chevy Silverados with savings up to $9,000 off MSRP. All new electric Chevy Bolt up to $15,000 off MSRP. Need credit? Lucky you. Our goal is 100% credit approval at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online at VictoryLaneChevrolet.com. Stock number S1156 W 1002. Price plus taxes and fees. All rebates to dealer. Silverado offer for current lessees. Gold for current Costco members. Offers do not combine. Expires 3/31/2021.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our newest branch in Estero. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. We're proud to open our 13th Florida location at 21910 South Tamiami Trail. Our lobbies are open, plus you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You. LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, and MLS number 442967.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with our Week 3 legislative update. This week, I debated and passed one of my top priorities on the House floor. House Bill 233 addresses the cancel culture of conservative thought on college campuses. It seems our commitment to diversity on campus is limited to those who look different but think the same. And that's not diversity, that's conformity. My bill passed the House by a vote of 77 to 42. We're also working on legislation to ban transgender women from competing in girls' high school athletics, to reform Florida's broken unemployment system, to stop abuses of Florida's medical marijuana program by limiting access to high-potency THC, to strengthen the civics requirements in high schools, and to ensure students have the freedom to pray before high school athletic events. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember that this is your government, and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
And by the way, dogs may help cure cancer. Not a joke. Dogs are able to, they're using dogs now because their olfactory glands are 400 times what a human is, to smell cancer in people's legs and people's bodies. Not a joke. It's a fascinating thing.
Not a joke. Not a joke. There's the President of the United States, Joe Biden, who was there at, where was he? He was at I'm trying to think of where he was. He was speaking to reporters and medical experts touring the James Cancer Hospital and the Ohio State University in Columbus. And he said there that dogs could help cure cancer because they smell. Because they can smell cancer. It's hard to hear what he's saying because he's wearing a mask, even though he's vaccinated. So I'm trying to figure out that whole thing, the mask and vaccination. And okay, but anyway, yeah. So you do know the difference between curing cancer, a dog can cure cancer, and a dog that can smell cancer. I'm not sure smelling is a cure for cancer, but hey, we don't want to argue the smaller points. Maybe that's a question that the press will ask. How are your dogs doing, by the way? Can your dogs cure cancer? Or is it a sense of taste with the Biden dogs because it's the biting thing? It's not funny, not funny. Again, we're asking you, what questions would you ask Joe Biden? You know, the opportunity, if you had it, as a member of the press, he's going to answer finally a news conference, answering questions. What question would you ask Joe Biden, President of the United States, today, if you could, at this first ever press conference as president? And we're getting a lot of people texting 239-479-5592. Maybe you want to call, whatever the case may be. So let us know your thoughts on that. Speaking of Joe Biden and looking to hand off responsibilities or what he's going to say or what is he going to do, no joke. Is this right? All right, so this isn't even necessarily a news story about Joe Biden, but the de facto president of the United States, Kamala Harris. So Bill Clinton is going to host a chat with the vice president, Harris, on quote unquote empowering women. Is this true? Hold on a second. An event with the theme of women's empowerment will be hosted by the Clinton Foundation, and Bill Clinton's going to be part of it. They're going to talk about the, quote, impact of COVID-19 pandemic on women and empowering women and girls in the U.S. and around the world with Clinton on Friday. Really? Who thought this was a good idea?
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again.
Somebody thought that... Is Bill Clinton the person that you go to with an issue? Wait, what? Who's on the phone?
Hey, Drew,
Yeah.
first-time caller, long-time listener.
It is Bill Clinton. Hey.
That's right. Bill listens a little bit too much to this type of radio.
Hillary, be quiet.
Don't tell me to be quiet.
Ow. Hey.
Yeah, hey.
We're
Yeah.
on the radio, Hillary.
What difference does that make?
Oh
my God. Anyway, hey, so
yeah,
you're in Orlando, is that right?
No, I'm in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yes, that's a great, very nice city in
Florida.
In Florida, Bill.
I know it's in Florida. Hey, that's where Disneyland is.
Disney World.
Hillary, Disney World is a great place, and I hope that you can go on that the Dumbo ride. That's a lot of fun.
Seriously?
Bill, why do you...
Hey. Anyway, good talking to you, and let's keep the peace.
What?
Hillary, I'm just ending the interview.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, there they go. Well, you never knew who's going to call, right? 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. All right, moving on. Let's do that right now. Let's see some of the other stories that we're watching. Speaking of Florida, a couple of Florida stories. Here you go. One of them has to do with right here in good old Cape Coral. I guess there's a person in the Cape Coral neighborhood, Southwest Cape, that they have a flag that is flying with a vulgar word in front of President Joe Biden's name. Is that right? Okay. Oh, that was a long... All right, so that was... Did they take that flag down? Did they ever get rid of that? Because somebody said to me that flag was still there. Way back, I guess it was a couple of months ago, that there was a flag issue going on in Cape Coral with a vulgar name of the flag and Joe Biden's name there, and somehow that became something that happened again? No. Okay. All right, well then move on from that story. I don't know when that came up. All right, here's another story out of Florida. I don't know if you knew this, but Miami spring break has been an issue. And it's been an issue because coronavirus. No, it's been an issue because the people that are there in Miami in spring break have been, let's just say Jake has been still watching videos of fights that were going on. More fighting that's been happening on spring break. People fighting in the streets, the twerking and caiocho, that was a video there, restaurants and smashing. And then there was a photo that was there on the beach because people wanted to let you know, MSNBC wanted to shame Florida spring break tourism. Because they said, listen, you got all these spring breakers, and they wanted to make it sound as if it was about coronavirus, but it wasn't. No. That's not what it was. So what they did was they had a photograph that they wanted to show on the beach with all of these people. They called them hashtag COVIDiots there in Miami Beach. Here's the only problem. The picture that was tweeted, apparently was from a year before the pandemic began. So it was a picture from March 22nd, 2019, a full year before the coronavirus pandemic. But MSNBC wants to use the picture of Miami Beach and people swarming the beach and everybody together because, that's where we go. It's about shaming the state of Florida. It's about making the governor look bad. It's about making the state of Florida look like the problem here is bigger than we're letting on. There's still this story about cooking the books, quote unquote. The claim now from the left in this country, the people that are jealous in places like California and New York, to be quite honest, is it's now that they're cooking the books in Tallahassee. That's all it is now. It's just changing the numbers. It's just so ridiculous. And there's no proof of it, but they put it out there because that's what the media does. Because the fake news legacy media wants to put out this narrative, and they understand that thanks to social media and how quick a news cycle is, that they'll see that headline, cooking the books, and that's all they need. I'm busy. Listen, I got to go pick up the kids. I got too much going on. We got things to do. They bank on it. But then there's this story I was mentioning to Matt Caldwell just the break before this one about this Atlantic story. And please don't tell us that, unfortunately, as we have said many times on this show, how you possibly could make the coronavirus political is beyond me. And yet the left does it all the time. The Atlantic. Derek Thompson with a story in The Atlantic, the curious case of Florida's pandemic response. And I want you to hear this in a couple of lines from this story, because it's really informative when it comes to how the left wants to make things look. The 2022 campaign underway in the state of Florida and damaging this governor and making us look like we don't know what we're doing, but also making it strictly about the Democrats versus Republicans because you can separate them when it comes to COVID. No, you shouldn't be able to do that. Liberals predicted that Florida would get destroyed by its laissez-faire approach to COVID-19. Conservatives said the state was the future of the economy. What if they were both wrong? Well, the conservative part, and what you're going to hear is something that is an interesting take on this, because they want to make conservatives look bad in this article as well. Despite criticism from liberals for laissez-faire approach, laying off of us here in Southwest Florida, laying off of us here in the state of Florida, being able to have an economy that is moving forward and have our liberties and freedoms about us when it comes to coronavirus, this laissez-faire approach to COVID, Florida has been booming, according to CNN, and the state's success is a vindication for their policies. And he goes on about how the governor bragged about how great things are going with opening of schools and low unemployment comparatively and per capita COVID mortality below the national average. And so the story goes on to talk about this closer look. There's more holes in the simple pro-Florida narrative. Yes, Florida is seeing falling COVID cases and hospitalizations, but so is every place else. And the overall pandemic performance is just about typical. That Florida ranks low when it comes to the fatalities in the state. But they're also talking about unemployment. So what this story goes on to tell is that when it comes to the amount of deaths and cases in the state of Florida, we have a low amount of cases and a low amount of deaths here per capita, and considering our age group and where we are here in the state, and that's understandable. But then they say that, when conservatives are bragging and talking about how great the economy is, and Ron DeSantis talking about how fantastic it is here in the state, well, hold on a second, because the numbers don't bear it out. Because apparently, if you look at the numbers, we're like right in the middle. Can I just stop for a second? So we're in the middle. So what you're suggesting is quite the opposite. The state of Florida showed the world, showed the country, that we don't have to have these draconian lockdowns, that we can enjoy the liberty and the freedom that we have been able to enjoy in the state, unlike other places. And in doing so, we showed that we can have lower cases and deaths per capita. And on top of that, we can have an economy that is not being destroyed. That's a big deal. You talk about being in the middle. Nobody suggested that it's an economy that is booming and is in the top two, or that we're doing so fantastic or anything like that. It's the idea that if we are in the middle, if we're doing well, if we have an economy that's doing well, it doesn't have to be best. It just shouldn't be worst, and it's not. And so what I'm trying to say is that where in this story, and again, you got to remember the lead. The lead is the spinning of COVID and the pandemic, and the spinning of the story to make it seem as if Florida is not as great as you would expect. It's quite the opposite. This story is actually proving how great it is when you enjoy the liberties and freedoms that we have in this state, and thanks to the governor and the good work that he's been doing, that we can have an economy that's doing quite well, thank you very much. And we didn't have to do all the lockdowns, and proving that both can be done at the same time. Low death rates per capita, lower amount of cases compared to other places that did lockdowns and did mask mandates statewide and did things against their citizens there in their states. And at the same time, be just fine when it comes to the economy. That's a good thing. But yet somehow it's conservatives not seeing the big picture. No, the big picture is that we're doing well. And that is something that politically they just can't handle. It's just ridiculous when they do that. And again, what's the lead? The lead is that please don't tell us that COVID is not political. It is. It should never have been. But ask yourself who's doing it. Ask yourself who's making it political. And then making sure that we're armed with the facts. And there's even a Ted Cruz story on the other side of this where he was doing an interview yesterday and they're like, please wear your mask or shouldn't you be wearing your mask? He's like, I'm vaccinated. We're all vaccinated. Why am I'm walking up to a microphone. I'm 6 feet away from you. Why am I not? Why do I have to wear a mask? I'm vaccinated. I'm fine. We're vaccinated. We're told the CDC guidelines. We're fine. 2 weeks after, we're good. We got to have the right information. We deserve it. All right, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, 239-479-5592. There's the talk and text line. Call now. 5th caller. You will play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
It is a mess coming out of Lehigh Acres this morning. There's a crash at Colonial Boulevard and Dynasty Drive that is shutting down Colonial heading westbound, and it is delaying traffic coming out of Lehigh Acres. All the traffic being diverted as well as heading onto MLK Boulevard as well as Daniels Parkway. Best thing you can do out of Lehigh, pack your patience. Also, a crash at 82 in Alabama is slowing traffic southbound on Alabama Road. A crash at Joel Boulevard in Orange is not delaying traffic. Just tap on those brakes as you're heading northbound. Joel Boulevard is delayed northbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity as temperatures skyrocket this afternoon to the upper 80s and lower 90s, with the heat index making it feel even a little bit warmer. Partly cloudy skies and a breezy wind not going to help much with the heat as we keep it rolling all the way through the weekend, with even the potential to near some records. I'm Wake News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Psst. I'm about to say a dirty word. A really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy and an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Nothing runs like a. I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on.
We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Scott in Cape Coral. Hey, Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, and your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, Scott, who is right now, currently, as we speak, the vice president of these United States?
Oh, gosh, this is happening to me again. It's freezing. Oh, my gosh. I do know.
I believe you.
Okay.
It's Kamala Harris.
Biden and,
Kamala Harris. Yeah, Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's okay. Easily forgettable. That's all right. All right, let's try this.
Unfortunately not.
No, that's all right. Well, yeah. All right, let's start with this then, for associate's degree question. Who penned the Declaration of Independence?
I believe it was Thomas Jefferson.
That you believe correctly. All right, you got a associate's degree there. Do you remember when it was adopted, that Declaration of Independence? When did we adopt it?
I'm going to say 1776.
What day and month?
July 4th?
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right, very good. All right, you got a bachelor's degree, and we'll see if you get a master's degree on this very question. All right, no, we'll skip that one. Let's just... Should I skip that one too? Wait a minute. I don't like these. I don't like these. I'm pre-screening the questions in my head because I'm worried about. All right. Well, let's do this. So let's stick with vice presidents. Oh boy, this is not. It's not hard. It's not hard. George H. All right. George W. Bush. Remember George W. Bush, president of the United States?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know who the vice president was then? George W. Bush. Bush and.
That I don't even know.
Dick Cheney. Remember Dick Cheney?
Yes.
You're just having you're having a bad day. Look, it's probably, maybe something you ate. Did you had breakfast yet?
It's the traffic. That's.
Oh, all right. But have you had breakfast?
I have had breakfast.
You have had it. Okay. Well, I was going to say it's an important message for kids to eat your breakfast. Apparently, you've already done that, and I don't know what to say. All right. Well, listen, you got a bachelor's. You got a bachelor's degree on Drew's College. Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks for playing, Scott. We appreciate it. Just got to work on that. That's all. It's just no worries. All right. 239-479-5592. The President of the United States has a press conference tonight. His first one. How about that? Isn't it exciting? First news conference. So he's got his first news conference tonight. If you were going to ask yourself a question, or what question should he ask? Maybe we should help him out. 239-479-5592. Text us. Let us know what you would ask.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Reported yesterday the most in a day since mid-February, but also on the rise, the number of vaccinations.
We will have 27 million doses allocated across all distribution channels this week.
White House senior COVID advisor Andy Slavitt. 1 in 4 Americans have had at least one shot. The White House plans to spend $10 billion to expand vaccine reach to low-income and rural areas. This says a fourth vaccine not yet approved here remains under scrutiny. Fox's Evan Brown has an update live.
Yeah, Dave, AstraZeneca now says their data shows their candidate vaccine is 76% effective in preventing severe COVID-19 illness. The company came under criticism after submitting its data, which initially claimed a 79% efficacy. As many claims surfaced, the data was not complete. AstraZeneca says they were a bit hasty in submitting their data to the FDA with their conclusions, and after revisions, the effectiveness is essentially the same, Dave.
Evan, President Brown will meet the press. Biden will meet the press today, his first full news conference more than 2 months after taking office, far later than recent presidents, likely facing questions about the border.
The new surge we're dealing with now started with the last administration, but it's our responsibility to deal with it humanely.
He's put Vice President Harris in charge of the migrant issue. For the second time this week, North Korea has fired off a missile test, ballistic missiles this time, in the sea toward Japan.
Japan's Prime Minister said this: "It threatens the peace and security of the region and our nation. It is also against the UN resolution. We strictly and strongly protest this launch."
Fox's Benjamin Hall, a vigil last night for the 10 people murdered at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado.
And while this has happened so many times, there's just something very different about it happening in your own town.
The accused gunman scheduled to appear in court in about 2 hours. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News traffic.
It is a mess coming out of Lehigh Acres this morning. There's a crash at Colonial Boulevard and Dynasty Drive that is shutting down Colonial heading westbound, and it is delaying traffic coming out of Lehigh Acres. All the traffic being diverted as well as heading onto MLK Boulevard as well as Daniels Parkway. Best thing you can do out of Lehigh, pack your patience. Also, a crash at 82 in Alabama is slowing traffic southbound on Alabama Road. A crash at Joel Boulevard in Orange is not delaying traffic. Just tap on those brakes as you're heading northbound. Joel Boulevard is delayed northbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes. Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
4 days, one event. Add it up and you get the Give Me 5 event, where you can buy a new Nissan for just $5 a day. Only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Through Sunday at 7 p.m. It's the Give Me 5 event. $5 a day is all you need to drive the hottest new crossover on the road. A brand new 2021 Nissan Rogue. Only at the #1 Nissan dealer in Florida can you buy a new Nissan for less than a latte. Just $5 a day for a Rogue. Or for only $4 a day, you can drive a brand new 2021 Altima. A brand new car for $4 a day. Give us $5, get a brand new Rogue. $4 and get an Altima. Who says you can't get much for $5 these days? This sale ends at 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida sells more Nissans than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 system saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed. If your AC breaks within 6 months of the maintenance, we will credit the payment towards any repair. Island Air also offers free second opinions. Let us review your quote for any service, replacement, or repair for your peace of mind.
IslandAirFL.com. That's IslandAirefL.com. IslandAirefL.com or call 239-645-4668. That's 239-645-4668. License number CAC 057544.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. We love that you're watching the program and contributing. By the way, the comments and reactions section is there for you, whether you are watching there at drewsteele.com, the website, or even if you're on Facebook, yes, at Drew Steele Radio, we're still there. You can comment. This morning, especially, we want to hear from you because this afternoon, Joe Biden, who has gone longer than any other U.S. president in over 100 years without holding a press conference, will have his first today after 64 days in office. So I've been asking you all morning, trying to have a little bit of fun here. Boy, yeah, you're having some fun with this. What question would you ask the president of the United States if you were a member of the press? What questions would you ask? I know that a lot of you have been very creative. Some answers I can't repeat. So we'll get to some of those. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, as he does each and every Thursday at this time. And we do appreciate it, keeping us up to date on everything that's happening. How are you this morning?
Doing good, Drew. How are you?
I wonder what you would ask. Well, if you had to think about this, here's something for you. Take a second. If you had to ask Joe Biden one question as a member of the press today, and I wonder what they're going to do and what they're not going to do, what they're going to avoid. Boy, I'll tell you what, with all the news that's going on right now and even what's been happening even before now, I wonder if there's something that's at the top of your mind that you would ask. Maybe the first question off the top of your head.
I think my first question probably would be, is he just going to is he just going to have Kamala Harris speak for him and everything that's going on?
You're the second person that said that.
For himself.
Yeah,
I mean, this is ridiculous,
yeah,
Drew.
More people are saying, I know, more people. Kamala Harris, who now has been handed the reins of the border and to control it. It's like, here, you deal with this. I mean, it's getting to that point, right, where it feels like, what does this president do? What is he in charge of?
Listen, I think the worst part, even in that part of that, not even a press conference, that that meeting he had, was at the end. He's like, well, okay, now who do I turn this over to?
Right.
And the staff is like, all right, that's it. Everybody get out. You got to go. And he's looking lost. I mean, he looks like, and it's sad, man. It's not even comical. He really looked like a man who didn't know what room he was in.
Yeah. No,
this is a very scary thing for the country, because what we're seeing front and center, and I don't want to get into elections and that kind of stuff and counting ballots and all that stuff right now, But what we are really seeing is how the media has completely, frankly, defrauded the American people, because the media did not hold Joe Biden accountable. Everybody in the orbit knew he was not the same Joe Biden from 2016 or 2012, and they didn't even make it an issue at all. And now he's president of the United States.
Yeah, and that's why nobody has any high expectations for tough questions today. It just we just don't see it happening. I don't know how much they can possibly cover. Certainly, if we want to go right to the border, I mean, how much could you possibly cover for what is clearly a crisis?
You can't cover for it because, listen, this is it's actually pretty interesting. This is the one time where it is clear that everything has transpired is because of decisions by Joe Biden.
Yep.
Or decisions by Ron Klain, the chief of staff, or whoever. These are his decisions. We didn't have these issues. Everybody knows it. And yet the pictures are now coming out of what's happening in these cells, frankly, where kids are being held in aluminum foil blankets. And he's the one to blame, but he can't stand on the podium for 30 minutes, let alone 5. I don't know what we're going to see today.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, it's going to really set the stage for the rest of his presidency. So whatever they did to get him upright for these debates, they better do it now. Because if he does, I'm being honest on this, but I'm not even trying to kid.
Yep.
If he does not show that he has the acumen to actually be able to deal with the press on major issues facing the country, not just the border, but the $2 trillion that we're spending that we don't need to spend, another $3 trillion in infrastructure spending that he wants to do, which is really a payback to unions, on top of massive tax increases that are going to impact all Americans. I mean, if he can't answer for this right now, I don't know what's happening to this presidency, but it doesn't look good for our country. And I'll add on top of that, the world is watching. You don't think the Iranians are watching? You don't think the Russians are watching? No. The Chinese are definitely watching. This is a bad time for America.
Yeah, and maybe we could even go into that a little bit before we get into some of the other issues. You thought $2 trillion was a lot. How about $3 or $4 trillion, everybody, under the guise of, and this is what I worry about. And I wonder if you've talked to people there on Capitol Hill about this, that you have, again, the formula, the template that they've put out there, which is, and you've mentioned it many, many times, and you've been awesome on this, the fact that 9% of the COVID relief package that has been talked about as COVID relief, which is not, 9% for quote unquote COVID relief. The rest of it, we know, is all of the trillions and all the money that we have to now put on to our kids and our grandkids. And it's just a fact, and we don't have it, and printing it up and everything else. But now we come to the new formula, which is all they have to do is call it infrastructure. The former President Trump talked about infrastructure. He had no problem with it. But here we go again. Is that where we're going to get with this new bill that's going to be pushed, which is it's going to be under the guise of infrastructure. It's going to have this much of infrastructure. My fingers are thinly spread apart. And the rest of it is going to be all the climate control, climate change action that they wanted to take that they couldn't get, all the Green New Deal things that they couldn't get, all the rest of it that nobody's going to see because it's going to be discussed as, well, it's infrastructure. You're against infrastructure. Is that the plan? Is that what they're doing?
That's the plan. I mean, let's just be very clear. What you said is exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah. The only thing, frankly, that's going to hold this up is if you have some, like literally, you need like 5 members of the Democrat Party, whether it's in Congress, whether it's in the House or the Senate, that says this is crazy. We cannot do this. Drew, the annual federal budget's about $4 trillion. Between the coronavirus bill and this bill, we're going to spend $5 trillion.
Yeah, how does that work?
Let's have this thing. We've never spent money like this. And I know, listen, I came up in the Tea Party movement. I know we were upset about TARP bailouts. We were upset about Obama's $989 billion stimulus package at the time. And we were like, this is insane. This doesn't make any sense. We have never spent in other spending more than the federal budget in any given year. And if Joe Biden has his way, and I'm not even sure if he knows what his way is, but if he has his way, we're going to spend $5 trillion outside of the federal budget, which is only $4 trillion. That's where they're going with this.
Yeah.
And this is how destructive this is. And I'm going to tell you something else. The proposal is out. It's not even clear if Nancy Pelosi is going to let it go through the committee process. Really, that's not clear. So we have to see how this is really going to unfold. My team is already ready to go. I've told the guys, I'm like, look, we got to sit down and drill through this entire thing because there's going to be more pet projects and more different little things that are going to happen, including Green New Deal stuff that they could never pass on its own. They're going to slip it through in infrastructure. They're going to try to slip it through with federal regulations.
Yeah.
Welcome to America.
It's hard to believe that we're in this position right now. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, as you know. Hopefully you do. Each and every Thursday at this time, he joins us to let us know what is going on there in Washington and the concerns that we all have. And now, as that is lingering out there, and that's something that we're kind of touching on. Here we go. Now we have something else that's shiny and bright to look at, and it's gun control. And here we go. After the horrible tragedy there in Boulder, Colorado, with an FBI that had this guy on their radar, and somehow they're too busy worrying about those that were there in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, apparently, and Oath Keepers and other people, and Cape Coral and Naples, and having a big, huge FBI presence and breaking down doors. And I wonder if that was going on in that household and people in his orbit, the shooter there in Boulder, in that issue. Now we have the discussion about gun control, and here we go. What's being said there now?
Listen, what they're going to try to do is ram through their proposal through the Senate. They passed these background check bills in the House over Republican objection, frankly, and they're going to put the pressure, frankly, on Republicans in the Senate to try to get this through. That's what they're going to try to do, and they're going to use it as a backdrop. But it is clear, once again, that there was a failure. And I don't want to speak bad of law enforcement. They have a job that's massive. But, again, there's been a failure. The same failure that happened in Parkland, where FBI and local law enforcement knew about this kid and he was on the radar and everybody kept passing it by, and then the tragedy happened. Same thing happened here in Boulder, Colorado. So when the left tries to say, "Oh, we need to ban assault weapons," I did an interview with Wink News yesterday, and I'm like, banning assault weapons doesn't do anything. Because the weapon itself is not the cause. It's the person. It's the mental health issues. Yeah. We need to make sure that we're tracking this right. And the reporter's like, "Oh, but don't you support it?" I said, we don't even know everything yet. And then lo and behold, 4 hours later, we found out that FBI knew about the guy, but they didn't do what needed to be done. They didn't continue to investigate. Yeah. And now we have a tragedy in Boulder. This stuff is the same blueprint every single time. The left uses these crises to further their agenda. They don't have new ideas. It's just the old ideas recycled. They just try to find a reason to deploy them, and they're going to try to use this with gun control.
Yeah. And again, it's the concern that I have and many people have about this issue is the usual. We're going down the same path with the usual questions. Assault weapons. You can't define to me what an assault weapon is. We've already been through this a million times. It doesn't happen. Nobody there can.
You'll like this.
Go ahead.
You'll like this. I was talking to members of the National Guard who, are deployed at the Capitol for no reason, frankly. And they have their weapons. They are assault style looking. I want to use the language that the left likes to use.
Yeah.
Their magazines they're not loaded. So I asked them, I was like, "Guys, why aren't your guns loaded?" They said the protocol now at the Capitol is not to have our weapons loaded. I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, let me ask you a question. Is this the same kind of weapon you could buy in a Walmart?" They were like, "No." They were like, that stuff is only semi-automatic, only fires once per pull. He's like, "Our weapons are semi-automatic, fully automatic, or we have safety. We really have 3 options on our weapons. The stuff you buy at Walmart you only have 2. And they were like, "Listen, you could maim anybody with a knife, let alone a gun, let alone a handgun, let alone a quote-unquote assault rifle." This is National Guard talking. This isn't me. I'm talking to them, asking their opinions of this stuff.
Right. And that is, of course, the one issue that seems to be ignored, which is this supposed taking away guns from law-abiding citizens. If we just get rid of them completely, then bad guys won't do bad things. Apparently, that's how that works. They wouldn't even find another way to do it. You don't want to give anybody any ideas, but of course we know that would be the case. That they would just find another way if they couldn't get their hands on it. Bad people, evil people will do bad things and evil things, and they'll find a way to do it.
This is Drew.
Yeah.
One thing is clear: the criminals don't follow your laws. They don't care.
Right. Law-abiding
citizens, unfortunately, are the ones that get caught up in it. That's why these gun control ideas are a bad idea. They make Americans less safe. You couple that with defunding police, and you literally have it where American citizens, law-abiding citizens, are literally at the mercy of criminals. Yeah. That doesn't help anybody. No. It sounds good in talking points, though, on the left.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I always appreciate having you on each and every Thursday. This is great. and keeping up the political fight. That's what we love. We love hearing it. So keep it up. And if next week we'll have more, and we'll figure out what's going. And then tomorrow's going to be fun. I'll bet you can't wait till this afternoon to hear what the president's going to say to the press. It's at least there's some entertaining television on the way.
Just watch my Twitter feed, man, unless you've been canceled. But, if you haven't been canceled off Twitter, watch my Twitter feed at Byron Donalds, and I'm going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, good. All right, my friend. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much.
All right. See you, Drew.
There he goes. All right. Yeah, follow him at Byron Donalds on Twitter. There you go. You want to find out what he thinks about what you're about to see this afternoon. It isn't going to be pretty. It's just not. And what can we expect? What about you? 239-479-5592. Maybe you want to call right now. You want to let us know. Maybe you want to text. A lot of people have been doing that. What would you ask Joe Biden as president of the United States? And you're a member of the press. What questions would you ask? Here's just an idea of some of the questions that we've had this morning that you would be asking. Here you go. Some of them that have come across through the text line. What's the importance of making sure to name administration the Biden-Harris instead of just the Biden administration? We talked about that yesterday. That White House memo that says, from now on, you got to call it the Biden-Harris administration. Why? Nobody ever does it. They didn't call it the Trump-Pence administration. They called it the Trump administration, the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, the Obama administration. Why all of a sudden is it Biden-Harris administration? What about that? Somebody asked, how long do you have to study for the press conference? Yeah. Why do you wear a mask when you've been vaccinated? Somebody brought something up about hair plugs, but we don't want to go there, and taxpayers. No, be nice. Be kind. All right. I know some of these I can't even repeat, but they're funny. They're funny. All right, drewsteele.com is the website. You can go and watch right there in the comments and reactions section. You can put them up, and we'll talk about what you've written there. And also, if you want to text us as well, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Let's get the latest. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash on Colonial Boulevard at Dynasty Drive is still shutting down Colonial Boulevard. This is as you're heading west to get onto I-75. A couple alternates, you can hop on MLK Boulevard, but it is a mess. Starting from Gateway Boulevard all the way towards the interstate. Also, Daniels Parkway is slammed coming out of Lehigh Acres. The best advice I could give you right now is give yourself a lot of extra time. Also, a crash reported at Daniels Parkway and Treeline Avenue is adding to that morning rush as traffic's trying to work its way onto the interstate. The Trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity as temperatures skyrocket this afternoon to the upper 80s and lower 90s, with the heat index making it feel even a little bit warmer. Partly cloudy skies and a breezy wind not going to help much with the heat as we keep it rolling all the way through the weekend, with even the potential to near some records. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
Chevy Sales Desk, this is Marty.
Marty!
Yeah?
Everyone's getting lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
And what, I'm getting lucky too?
No, Marty, you've never been lucky in your life, especially in high school.
All right.
I'm the Lucky Charm, saving customers a pot of gold on new Victory Lane Chevys.
Oh, yeah, so you're the magic leprechaun here, huh?
No, Marty, you're the only one conning your customers. He hung up. Gulf Coast, it's time to get lucky at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Shipments of new 2021 Chevys are arriving daily. Be first in line to save thousands. Plus, get our gigantic cash allowance for any trade. Get lucky now. Find new roads with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. New 2021 Chevy Silverados with savings up to $9,000 off MSRP. All new electric Chevy Bolt up to $15,000 off MSRP. Need credit? Lucky you, our goal is 100% credit approval at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com. Stock number S1156 and W1002. Price plus taxes and fees. All rebates to dealers. Silverado offer for current lessees. Bolt for current Costco members. Offers do not combine. Expires 3/31/2021.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear. Taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around your middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. Neogenics, rediscover your youth.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's if you want to watch. It's mobile friendly. We appreciate you doing that. Facebook there at Drew Steele Radio as well. All right, so we're going to have the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 coming up, and then we're going to go right to you. It's going to be the lightning round of what question would you ask the President of the United States, Joe Biden, today, this afternoon? He's going to be taking questions for his first news conference. What would you ask? And we got a lot of people that are calling. We're going to get to your calls. Okay, so here you go, Jake. Here's some of the questions that we've been getting from the audience. Let's see. Ask him to spell Mississippi. If Nancy Pelosi, AOC, and Kamala Harris were treading in the ocean, and you can save only one, which one and why? That's not a fair question. There, that's a tough one. You can't really.
Not a joke.
Yeah, but all right, and some other ones that I can't repeat right now, but I might later. All right. So when we come back, top 5 audio clips of the day. We're going to get to your questions. What would you ask? Just trying to have a little bit of fun on this Thursday. It feels like a Friday. And, we have other questions as well. A lot of people talking about gun control and a lot of people talking about the border. We're going to get to all of that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my good friend TJ, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And, TJ, we talk about core tech. A lot of people talk about core tech. But tell people and explain why so many people love their core tech floors.
Core tech is built to be waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. It looks just like wood. Comes anywhere from 6 inches wide to 9 inches wide, all the way up to 86 inches long. Comes in a wide variety of colors, with a bevel, without a bevel, warm tones, cool tones, any color to make your house look beautiful.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floor Meisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. Or on the web at floormeisters.com.
2020 finally ended, but will 2021 be any better? This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. Power outages are a fact of life in Southwest Florida, and you have to be prepared. That's why you need to call Tropical Generator. We live in uncertain times. and having an emergency generator might make the difference between staying at home or being forced into a public shelter. Don't take the risk of being forced into a public shelter in these uncertain times. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care about each individual we serve. This year, it's even more important to give us a call right away. Winter is always the best season to install a generator, but this year we've seen some pretty serious generator shortages. If you wait until spring to order, we may not receive the generator in time for this year's hurricane threats. Please visit tropicalgenerator.com. Call us today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. Call us today. That's 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
So it's almost time for Florida snowbirds to migrate back to their northern homes. Will you be heading home soon? Please consider donating any of your unopened pantry items before you leave town and be part of Lee County's 3rd annual Donated Not Wasted Food Rescue. From Monday, March 22nd through Monday, April 5th, you can drop off unopened canned or dry goods at any library or any Lee County Recreation Center. Additional collection containers are located at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough and the Lee County Solid Waste's Topaz Court Household Chemical Waste Facility. So as you prepare to leave for the season, please consider being part of this effort to reduce food waste in Southwest Florida. Please join Lee County government as they partner with Harry Chapin Food Bank, Fox 4, Waste Pro, and libraries of Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach to rescue food that might otherwise end up in the waste stream and instead get that food to hungry people. Donated, not wasted. Lee County's Food Rescue, March 22nd through April 5th. Be part of it.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on Colonial Boulevard at Dynasty Drive is still shutting down Colonial Boulevard. This is as you're heading west to get onto I-75. A couple alternates, you can hop on MLK Boulevard, but it is a mess. Starting from Gateway Boulevard all the way towards the interstate. Also, Daniels Parkway is slammed coming out of Lehigh Acres. The best advice I could give you right now is give yourself a lot of extra time. Also, a crash reported at Daniels Parkway and Treeline Avenue is adding to that morning rush as traffic's trying to work its way onto the interstate. That trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity. That humidity is allowing for a little bit of patchy fog to develop this morning, but once it clears, temps will skyrocket to the upper 80s and lower 90s for all of Southwest Florida. Heat index values will make it feel even a little stickier than that, and we do keep the heat going all the way toward the weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Join the 2021 Collier Building Industry Association Parade of Homes March 19th to 21st and March 26th to 28th, featuring a selection of outstanding models by 12 of Southwest Florida's finest builders, located in some of the most prominent communities and offering the highest quality in craftsmanship, architectural design, interior, and outdoor creative living trends. Join the parade to find your dream home. Look for the 8-page Parade of Homes insert in Collier Citizen and Naples Daily News, March 19th and March 26th. For more information, visit paradeofhomesnaples.com.
Hi.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Announcer is a paid presenter.
The Bible is under attack. Last year, California's governor even tried to ban private Bible study groups. Now, Greg Kelly Reports investigates the movement to ban the Bible. Watch Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern as he reveals the dangers to Christians. Find Newsmax TV on all major cable systems or get it free on Roku, YouTube, Zumo, Pluto, and smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Protect your Bible freedom. Watch Newsmax TV's Greg Kelly tonight.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
4 days, 1 event. Add it up and you get the Give Me 5 event, where you can buy a new Nissan for just $5 a day. Only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Through Sunday at 7 p.m. It's the Give Me 5 event. $5 a day is all you need to drive the hottest new crossover on the road. A brand new 2021 Nissan Rogue. Only at the #1 Nissan dealer in Florida can you buy a new Nissan for less than a latte. Just $5 a day for a Rogue. Or for only $4 a day, you can drive a brand new 2021 Altima. A brand new car for $4 a day. Give us $5, get a brand new Rogue. $4 and get an Altima. Who says you can't get much for $5 these days? This sale ends at 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida sells more Nissans than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, coming up. By the way, DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's if you want to watch. You can also watch on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio if you would like. We're going to get to your comments and reactions at DrewSteele.com. We're going to put them up on the screen. If you're watching, you'll get to see your comments there. Also, 239-479-5592, your texts and your phone calls coming up, because this is what I want you to do. Call right now, because right after the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35, we're going to take your calls and your questions. This afternoon, the President of the United States, after 64 days, is finally going to hold his first news conference. So what questions, be honest, whatever's on your mind, what question would you ask if you were a member of the press? We'll have some fun with this. We'll see what's on your mind. I'm already looking at some of them that are coming in, and some of them I really can't repeat. But I'll do my best to repeat them because they're funny. All right, so that's coming up. First, the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
I'm a member of the LGBTQ community with pink hair, and where I come from, I could have only dreamed that I would be standing in the position I am today at the White House. I'm also a professional athlete, and I've helped, along with all of my teammates virtually here today, one teammate literally here today, win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States. And despite those wins, I've been devalued, I've been disrespected, and dismissed because I am a woman. And I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman. You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
All right. So, as the president and first lady mark Equal Pay Day yesterday, there's Megan Rapinoe, who is their millionaire soccer player who won all kinds of cups and things. And while she's a millionaire soccer player, speaking with the president and first lady at the White House, she's talking about how she's devalued and disrespected. She's a millionaire soccer player. Moving on.
Number 4. So I'm a sophomore here at Mount Holyoke College, and I'm majoring in politics and critical social thought.
I am one of the community service coordinators for our Association of Pan-African Unity on campus.
My major is sociology with a minor in English, and I also have a focus in educational policy and practice. So,
I've also been serving as a community-based learning mentor for the CUSP Learning Service and Social Action course.
There's a little supercut Tom Elliott put together from the great Grabian website, the great Tom Elliott. The class of 2021, who was on with Representative Presley on a Zoom meeting, who was explaining to them their degrees that they're going for, the class of 2021 and all their different degrees and what they're in school for.
So I'm a sophomore here at Mount Holyoke College, and I'm majoring in politics and critical social thought.
Just wondering what that's all going to mean when they get out of college and looking for that big payday. And what are you doing again?
Number 3.
And by the way, dogs may help cure cancer. Not a joke. Dogs are able to, they're using dogs now because their olfactory glands are 400 times what a human is, to smell cancer.
It's Joe Biden saying that dogs can cure cancer because they can smell cancer. If they can smell it, does that mean they could cure it? How does that work? A dog, President of the United States saying it, no joke. No joke, dogs can smell cancer so they can cure it. I mean, it's just a couple, smell, cure, what's the difference?
Number 2.
Would you guys put a mask on for us?
Yeah, when I'm talking to the TV camera, I'm not going to wear a mask, and all of us have been immunized, so...
How do you make us feel better?
You're welcome to step away if you like. The whole point of a vaccine, CDC guidance, is what we're following.
It's Ted Cruz getting ready to talk to reporters. A reporter saying, hey, you want to put a mask on? And he's like, no, when I'm talking to TV cameras, I'm not going to wear a mask. We've all been immunized, unlike the president of the United States who wears a mask even though he's been immunized. And the reporter says, well, it would make us feel better. You can step away. We're following CDC guidelines. Shouldn't we be doing that? The science? Shouldn't we be following the science?
Number 1.
One of the reasons why we've had such a, before we took office, in the midst of the last administration's somewhat draconian policies of separating children from their parents, etc., what happened was that we found that there were a serious spike in the number of people heading to the southern border, even in the midst of that. And as Alejandro can tell you, is that was because there were serious natural disasters that occurred in those countries. They were coming north, and we did nothing to do much about it. So this new surge we're dealing with now started with the last administration, but it's our responsibility to deal with it humanely.
All right, I just got to stop. That's the President of the United States who yesterday at a meeting, I guess you could call it, with the Vice President Harris, letting everybody know that, there was a surge at the border. It happened during the Trump administration. And it's their draconian policies. And, we're doing everything right now. We're trying to fix the mess that they made, trying to make the case that it was their surge, not his surge, which, if you look at the numbers...
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Which I happen to have in front of me. The surge actually started in February. When you go from 71, 72, 74,000 October, November, December to 100,000 in February. That's called a surge when you're talking about the Southwest land border demographic by month. Yeah, that's a surge. That happened because of you. That didn't happen because of Donald Trump, and you can make it and spin it any way you want. Now, you got a willing media that will go along with it, and maybe at the press conference today, they'll go along with it as well. Be nice if they would push back a little bit on that, but I doubt it. All right. It is time for you right now. Let's try to finish out the program here, having a little bit of fun, and see what you think about this. So you are a member of the press. Today, this afternoon, you will be in front of the President of the United States for his first news conference. What questions would you ask? 239-479-5592. Call right now. Text right now, put up in the comments and reactions section there at drewsteele.com, and let's do it. Let's make that the thing today. What's your thing? What would you ask the President of the United States if you could?
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, so let's see what we've got here. We need a little bit of music here. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, go into some of the questions on the text line, and we'll start with the comments and reactions section at the website first. Jeff from Fort Myers said, "Hello, Mr. President. What's your name?" You see, that's not nice. Not nice. We don't want to do that. Okay, let's see. Here's one. What's the total amount of money you've personally received from China? All right, there you go. That might be a tough question to ask. Somebody said, do you still rub kids, do you still let kids rub your hairy legs? You see, that's not nice. Not funny. Not nice. Let's see. When should we start referring to Kamala Harris as the President of the United States? There you go. That's one. Somebody said, again, Mr. President, why do you wear a mask when you've been vaccinated? That's interesting. We could do that. All right, let's see. Kim's in Cape Coral. Kim, what question would you ask?
I would like to know who supplied all the T-shirts for the illegals.
Yeah, the ones that say Biden, please let me in, right? What about that?
Yeah.
Or if you don't know, what do you think about it? Because he might think it's swell. You might even use the word swell, Kim. That could be because of it's an age thing. But I appreciate that. That's a good one. Thanks for the call there. I appreciate it. By the way, my son does that a lot too. My son's an old soul. My whole house right now is like that. As he's watching, he's saying Jeepers a lot because he's watching Dennis the Menace. Some of you who've watched it from the 50s maybe know what I'm talking about. The 50s. And loves listening to Sammy Davis Jr. and stuff like that. Okay. That's a long story. All right, here's a Jeff in Fort Myers. Jeff, what question would you ask the President of the United States? Be kind.
Yes, I would like to know what benefit the United States gets from allowing all these illegal immigrants into the United States who tend to be uneducated, impoverished, and obviously carrying a lot of them, from what I hear, is the COVID virus, other than a gesture of humanitarianism and also, obviously, to bloat the Democratic voter roll.
Yeah, but Jeff, listen, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? I mean, let's be honest. It's the country that we are. Haven't you ever seen at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, you give us your poor, the huddled masses? I mean, it's people yearning to be free.
That's why we have quotas for all countries.
Yeah.
We can only accept so many people per year.
Yeah, the idea, and you're making the point, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yes, it's not about we're against immigration. We're against illegal immigration. We got to have laws. All right, maybe that would be a good question. Richard has some questions. Richard, what would you ask if you had the opportunity today? Go ahead.
Yeah, my question would be, why did you lie and say there was no vaccine when you came in office, when there's videotape of you getting vaccinated before you came in office?
Very good, Richard. I like that. All right, there's a question you would ask. Here's another Richard in Bonita. What question would you ask if you were a member of the press today?
I would like to know, when the press secretary says, I'll circle back, which president does she go to? the male or the female.
Okay, who does Jen Psaki circle back to? Which one of you? Who's in charge? Who's running the show at this place? All right, Pam's in Naples and has a question. Go ahead, Pam.
Drew, I would ask President Biden what he thinks is a proper punishment for someone who steals a presidential election.
Ouch. Okay. What would be the proper punishment? Who would? Well, then they might make the case that it's, well, that's what Donald Trump did. Don't you remember? What's that?
There was one I saw. I don't know if you saw it
No.
because I've been busy with the phone.
Oh, there's so many texts coming in. I can't keep track.
It was a good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why would you fire White House staffers for smoking when Kamala literally has been out and said that she smoked all the time?
Wasn't she on like the Breakfast Club or something like that? And she said, and I did inhale.
Oh yeah, she tried to say that she listened to Tupac and Biggie and while she was in college, but they didn't come out until like the early 90s, and she graduated in the 80s. So I'm not really sure how she did that.
Well,
she time traveled.
She was before her time. All right, 239-479-5592. Let's see. What else? I'm looking at Lisa Batchelor says she wants to know why you're catering to teachers unions. Yeah, when it comes to having your kids back in school and the evidence that's out there, you know, the science and the data that everybody likes to talk about when it comes to COVID and how it is it's more dangerous, if you want to put it that way, for the kids to be going back and forth in their home and to in-class learning as opposed to staying in school learning, and super spreaders, and how there's more information now that would suggest that the spreading's actually coming from the teachers to the students, not the students to the teachers. And it almost seems as if the teachers' unions are like, no, we need more money for school. Even in the new discussion about $3 or $4 trillion for infrastructure, there's more money for schools. How much more do we need here? How much more do we need? It just keeps coming. Tammy Hoffman said, which federal laws are okay to break? That's a good one. All right. Oh, there's lots coming in. All right, here we go. Joe's in North Fort Myers. Come on, Joe. What are you going to ask? You're a member of the press. You have a chance to ask the President of the United States at the news conference today. What are you going to ask him?
Mr. Biden, would you take an IQ test and let it be public? Let the results be known?
Oh, boy. Mean. Just mean. All right, Lou's in South Fort Myers. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, I'd like to ask him which one of his family members is going to benefit the most from his presidency.
Oh,
Hunter.
Sure. Well, yeah, his brother, Hunter Biden. Yep. That's a good question. On the heels of asking about the $3.5 million from the wife of the Moscow mayor, and Hunter Biden getting that money, and Jen Psaki circling back and saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard about that. No, seriously, that's what she said. The press asked yesterday about that, and she's like, I don't even know. And do I have to remind her of what happened with the former president, Trump, and Joe Biden? Wait, not that. Here, this. Let me play this, right? With the back and forth.
As the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment
call
here.
Gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow.
Let's talk about
it.
True. Gentlemen, that report is totally discredited.
Okay, so how do you know that took place during the debate between the former president and Joe Biden last year in October, and you have no idea what this person is talking about? Really? How is that even possible?
There was a report last year from the Senate Finance and Homeland Security Committees. It claimed that the wife of Moscow's former mayor paid a company associated with the president's son $3.5 million. There was no explanation for this alleged payments, and I'm wondering if you could tell us if that claim is accurate, and if so, what the $3.5 million was paid for.
Not familiar with that claim. Doesn't sound like it's backed up.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I do like your mask. Next! Yeah, that's how that always works, you know. All right, more questions. Let's see. Okay, Benjamin Conley is on our drewsteele.com website and asking, how's President Obama enjoying his third term? Yeah. There you go. All right. So anyway, all right, 239-479-5592. We appreciate all the fun that we're having today. Good stuff. All right. Listen, Glenn Beck is next. Have a fantastic day. Tomorrow we'll play clips of the presser. And how did it go? Maybe you had a chance to hear it, maybe not. So we'll see how the news conference went. Looking forward to that. Right now, let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up with Week News meteorologist Brittany Brand Voorhees.
Get ready for a whole lot of heat and humidity as temperatures skyrocket this afternoon to the upper 80s and lower 90s, with the heat index making it feel even a little bit warmer.